Morning, it's Bev at Planetcrochet and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do tummy, arms, legs and scarf. You will need just the pale colour, which is this one, the pale brown, the light brown they call it. Don't forget these three things: needle, stitch marker if you've not got a stitch marker, a safety pin and your scissors, and you'll need the red, obviously. In this one you will be doing the magic circle and the slip stitch. I'm going to do the tummy first. Start here and then you work up, and you want to chain 7. Don't forget your hook, unless you're using your own, it's a 3mm. So you want 7 chain, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. The first chain you will miss, the loop on the hook doesn't count. And you're going to double crochet just as you've been doing. It is fiddly if it's the first time you're doing this. So the stitch you've already done because you've been doing the head and the body. And what you will do, you see there's like a loop there and a loop there. It's like a V. Turn it horizontal. And in the top, pop your hook and do your stitch. It's really fiddly at this stage. If you go wrong, just stop, pull it out and start all over again. You're better off practicing slip stitch. You're better off practicing over and over again, and then you get a nice tight start. See here? So even though you've chained 7, you'll have 6 stitches because the first chain you miss. Let me just double check. 2, 4, 6, 7. Miss the first chain from your loop hook. I'm looking at the loop, and do your double crochet. So you do 1 in each of the chains. At the end of each row, you've worked in the round up to now. This is your first teddy. Now you're working in rows. The last one, there you go. You have 6 double crochet. Your first row done, you want to chain 1, and that gets you to the height, and then you turn your work. The back looks totally different to the front. You see the natural hole, that's where you're going to put your hook. The first one is always one that you could always miss, and the last one. So if you're ever unsure, in your last one, you could pop your stitch marker, just like you've been doing for the head, you know, when you go around. But always count if you're unsure. The first stitch, 1 double crochet. And do that all the way along, so at the end you should have 6 double crochet. After this row, we're going to increase in the end. It's really fiddly as the last one because it's curled on itself. And you're all fingers and thumbs if you're new to crochet when you do starting a project. And you've got 6 double crochet. The next row, chain 1, turn your work. You're going to increase. You know what an increase is because you've done the head and the body, and it is a little tight, so it's 1, 2. A bit of a tip, don't do the first one tight, and if you're unsure, pop a stitch marker in the first stitch, and then you're not going to forget it when you come back. And then it's 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then you're going to increase in the last stitch here. Again, because it's the last, it always kind of curls a little bit. Don't do them tight. 1 and 2. There you go. So it's starting to go outwards. Chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to do the same again. 2, you increase, that is, 2 double crochet in the first. 1, 2. If you have another safety pin, do the same again. Your first one, pop it in there, or if you have a stitch marker. And then it's 6 double crochet, and then an increase in the last. One, 2. Now that's 4 rows, and what you want to do now is 9 rows of 1 double crochet in each of the 10 stitches you've got. Double check, 2, 4, 6, 8, and the first one, pop your stitch marker in. This is a tip I've done before now, helps a little bit. Pop your stitch marker or your yarn or whatever you're using, give it a little tease, hold your work so you don't distort your work. You can keep your stitch marker in if you're new, and then you won't forget. And don't forget, count. If you're not sure, always count that you've got 10. 9 rows, and I'll do mine off camera, and it'll be, then we're decreasing. So we're just doing this little bit now. It's 1, 3, so we're on there. You go 9 rows, and then it's a couple of rows to decrease and get back down to 6 stitches. Like you started here, 6 double crochet, then you increased 2 on each side. This is where you will have finished this portion. I haven't done it all the way because I'm going to pull this out anyway because I need to do the legs and the arms. And as you can see, I've already got mine. That's the beginning where you increase. This is the 1 double crochet in each row, in each stitch for 9 rows. The last 2 are these 2 where you see the pink pins. And you decrease at each end for 2 rows. How you do that? Chain 1, go in the front loop, grab your yarn, pull through. Front loop, grab your yarn and pull through. Just like you've done on the head and the body, invisible, decrease. Yarn over and pull through. 1 double crochet in the 6 next stitches. You've got 2 left at the end. And like you've done at the beginning, front loop only. Whoops. Grab your yarn, go into the next one, grab your yarn and pull through. The last row, yarn over, chain 1, turn. Now not everybody will say chain 1, the pattern doesn't say chain 1, but I like to do it. Front loop again, grab your yarn, next stitch, front loop only, grab your yarn, pull it through, and 3, and yarn over. 4 double crochet, 2 stitches left, front loop only, grab your yarn and pull through. Remember not to make these too tight. Front loop only, grab your yarn, pull through, and yarn over, and you're finished. And to finish, just like the head and the body, yarn over, hold your work, and because we're going to go, where's mine? It's here somewhere. Oh, I've poked it through here. I gave myself so this is where it's finished. I put it down, the body, this little tummy bit, and I loosely went round it like this to the beginning. And then what I do is grab it, pull it, but not too tight, just loosely, double it, grab it again, and then some more. And usually you've got absolutely enough to sew onto the body all the way around. Now, let's do the arms. This is fiddly, I'm not going to fib. Magic circle, 4 double crochet in that magic circle. You're not joining, you're going to be like the head and the body, working in the round. And we want 8 stitches to make that little tube-like shape for the arms. And you do like you've done for the head and body, and it's really fiddly. Increase in the 4 stitches you've just made, and it is easier then to make the arms. So don't forget, pop your stitch marker in your first stitch. Even for me, that's not going to be easy to see. Second stitch, increase, and the 3rd and 4th. You have 8 stitches at the end of this row, round. I'm going to say the other way and it came out wrong. So 8 stitches. And you can do your arms as long as you like. So I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I've done 9 rounds, just like the pattern says. You wouldn't want it any longer really. The legs are under 2, don't forget to make 2. The legs are a little stubbier. After you've done the 8 stitches, work 7 rounds, going round and round and round. Don't forget your stitch marker in the first one. 2 arms, and then we'll do the legs. Like the arms, magic circle, only you put in 8 double crochet in the magic circle. Then don't forget your stitch marker for the first. You want increase, increase, put your stitch marker in the first, then 1, 2, increase times 2, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. You have 12 stitches. Now, how you want the legs to look, obviously I'm going to pinch the legs like that and then sew them on the front. You may want to do longer than what the pattern says, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the pattern says just to here, 4 rounds. I've done extra. And the only reason I did it is because when I did the 4 rounds, there's absolutely nothing for me to like make it stick out, you know. If you want to do 4 rounds, you just do 4 rounds. So you've done 2 already, do 2 more of just 1 in each stitch around in the 12 stitches, and then leave a long enough tail to sew on. You've got plenty of yarn. But I did 1, 2, 3, I did 7 rounds in total for the little legs. And it's up to you. Oh, also, don't forget to sew your tails in before you make the tube, because you'll find it really hard to sew it in there. As you've gone for the tube as well, to make the tube for the legs and arms, oops, once you start putting 1 stitch in around, you've done it the same on the body and the head, but that's a lot bigger. When you come to little fiddly things like this, it'll curl on yourself. Where the tail is at the beginning, turn it over before you start doing the tube shape, sew your tail in, and then when it turns on yourself, I'll show you. I always get questions, can you do every stage? But I sometimes forget, maybe you are beginners, total beginners, and you need to be shown the stages. Now I'm just pure guessing, I haven't counted these stitches, but you can see what's happening, and I can feel it on my thumb as I'm going round and round, because this is what you want to do for 7 rounds. So you've got something to sew on the body. It's easier for you. So little stubby legs. It naturally, pretend you've sewn that tail in, it naturally goes like that. But that's the inside, you want it outside. So you can do a few rounds as it was after you've sewn, and then turn it to the right side. So it looks like that. The long tails I finished with are I've tucked them inside for photograph purposes later, before, for a thumbnail. So I have got tails. There you go. And you have plenty of yarn. I know this is a different colour, this is from my own stash. But that's what they should look like when you're finished with the tails. Again, I go the circumference or the width, going round and round something, and then give yourself plenty. Now we will do the ears. Magic circle, 6 double crochet. Now I know you want small ears because it looks cute, and it does. I'll go get the hedgehog head in a minute. So magic circle, 2, 4, 6. So you've done this before, 6. Pull the tail, and then just simply, oops, oh, get in, increase all the way around. So do your increasing, don't forget your stitch marker, then you know where you started. I'll just pause and I'll come back. Now to say the ear is small is an understatement. That is a magic circle with 6 stitches. And that's what the ear on the pattern says, which is absolutely fine. But you start with 3 double crochet and then increase in each stitch around. But I thought, why not start with 6 double crochet, like I just said, increase in each stitch around and fasten off. Give yourself, not as much as you're sewing on the limbs, but give yourself, what, good 10 inches, and you've got plenty to sew on the head. That is what I have asked you or showing you to do 6 double crochet, increase in the next round and fasten off. This is the pattern. See a difference? I can put that in the middle actually. Cute. There's a Mr. Hedgehog. And that's what they asked, which is absolutely fine, but it is so fiddly. And I thought, I want my hedgehog to have a bit bigger ears. So if you wanted them bigger, you could just go another round, 1 double crochet to increase, 1 double crochet increase. So you've got 18 stitches, and then fasten off and do the same thing. And then the hair. Looks cute, doesn't it? So I thought the ears looked fine like that with 12 stitches as opposed to 6. So that's the ears. I'll do the scarf next. Red yarn, or if you have any other colour yarn, do it what colour you like. Slip stitch, chain 4, and you're doing exactly the same as you did for the tummy. Miss the first chain, 1 double crochet in 3 chain. Again, it's very fiddly. On those 3 double crochet, you do exactly what you've done for the tummy, you know, at the beginning, 1 stitch in each of the stitches. You have 3 stitches. Do that for as long as you like your scarf to be. It does recommend to 56. But it depends how you want your scarf on your hedgehog. See? You don't have to tie it when you've done. You've put the head on and you've put on the body, etc. I think I'm just going to do that. So I will sew here. I might get a nice pretty button and just sew that on. So pretend the head's been sewn on, which I will have to do for the hair. So I've got something to hold on to. See, I'll just turn it around. And then just wrap the scarf around the neck. Once you've done the scarf, you want to sew, before you do anything with the body, you want to sew the body onto the head. And I've got mine pinned on because I just wanted to see what it looked like. I would, you see where the colour changes, pop it halfway here. If you don't think you've got enough stuffing in the neck, don't worry, because where you start with your sewing on the brown here, do a couple of stitches and just check the neck. I think I may have to put a bit more in because the head's already done, but that's how I would put the head on. Not too far forward like that. I'd put it halfway, the colour change. And keep checking at the other side as well. Forget the limbs, I'll take them off. So that's the back, that's the tail for the back of there. Just so you've got it on square if you like. Forget the tummy bit, don't put that on. So you've just got a blank. I'll take mine off actually. I did this for photographic purposes. Oh, put a knot in it, look. Oh my goodness. So yeah, see we're a blank tummy. And pop it halfway with your colour change like that. It's up to you how you do it. But check front and side and the back. And once you've done that, and you're happy with it, then you can pop the tummy back on. I would put the tummy on because it doesn't tell you which order to do it. So it's up to you. This is your teddy. Put the arms on either side, just a couple of rounds down. Pinch. Don't forget to stuff a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Pinch the end, sew them together, and then just sew them on. Don't do a bit of a tip I found, as I have done at the odd one of these. When you're sewing, do it loose first. Take time. And then once you like the position, you can tighten them. So do both arms together after this bit. Do both arms. Check like this, that it looks okay underneath the body, and check they look okay in the positions. And then pull the stitches tighter. Because you're not going to have a lot of stitches, only a couple really, 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. And then you can pull them tight. And then weave the ends in through the body and then snip it off. Same with the legs. But once I think I'm going to put the arms on, then I'll put the tummy on, and then I'll pop the legs on. And the scarf, I'll just do that when I've actually finished the teddy. Now the hair is a whole different ball game. I'll have to go and find some more of this yarn because I would like to finish it. But this is going to take a long time. You don't want to rush it. So if you've got a film, put the film on and then you can do it. But I'm going to have to sew mine together because you want to have something to hold to do it, to grab hold of. So I'll sew mine together and then I'll show you how to do the hair. Hedgehog sewn together. Not perfect, but it'll do. Right, turn him over, or her. I'm using the rest of the stuffing, a bit of it, because you want it to be on something so you can do this part of it. Either do a bit of time and leave it, or if you want to get it over and done with, put some music on, put a DVD on, or whatever you're doing, film, and just enjoy the process. You will need to cut strips of yarn into 2-inch-ish lengths, and this is what it will start and look like when you do the hair. You want to do the head and the back of the teddy. I've put the scarf on, I haven't sewn it on, so I can take it off. But with the length, I may not need to go into the neck. And how you do the hair is really easy. I suggest, I've gone down there, well I've gone up, and so it's given me a line to work to, because I'm right-handed. So I've done it from the right to the left. If you're left, go from left to right, or find your own way. But I found, so the hairs, you know, the spines are on, they're not in my way. If I start in a pattern, so I start at the bottom and went like that all the way. Give myself a guideline, and now I'm here. Use the natural holes in your work. You can, you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do, just do that. Then when you've done one, you can skip one and go into the next. But what I like to do, if you want it dense like this, you put my last ones there, and I could put, if I wanted, my hook in that used awl and come up the new one, which I'm going to do. Sit still. Grab a strand, fold it in half, and this is fiddly. Put your loop on your hook, gently pull it through, grab the 2 other, you know, the strands that you're holding in your other hand, and just gently, I mean gently, tease and pull. Now you want to hold the body where you've put the spike in and pull it a little tight. And then you've got one next to each other. Now I've done that, I've gone in that hole, I've come out of that hole there. You can go into the next one. But I like it quite dense, so I'll go back in that one there and come up in a fresh one. What I suggest, if you're worried about how much yarn you're going to use, you can, to see what it looks like, do a few rows at the bottom in how you want to do it. Make it dense, or you can just move them across, you know, like skip a hole, natural hole, and go in the next one and do it that way. And then you can always go back when you look at your teddy back. If it looks a bit like baldy or it's got patches, then you can go in, just part your work and find the hole and do another spike. Do it that way, spine, whatever you want to call them, on a hedgehog. And that's how I've been doing it. Do it again. So grab your little spine, bend in half, take your hook, find your last spine, go in, but don't dig down, just go under your stitch, grab your loop, pull through, grab the two little tails there and pull through. I find twisting it helps, and then just pull tight. There you go, and then just move your work so you can see where you've got your next holes for the rest of your work, and you're going to go to about here approximately. That's why I use these long pins, so it's approximate, just going down the sides. I've already done that, but I can also, if you take it back, you could pop extra ones if you want to, but you don't want to go too far forward. So I think that will be fine for me. Every time I finished a row to approximately where the pin is, I will just go and start the one above like that, and just go until you've filled it in as far as possible. I probably won't go any higher than that because of the scarf. I want it to stay flush like that. And then do the same on the head. Just go, so you could start here and go around, and it will take you in a circular motion back to the beginning, or start at the beginning here. Obviously the middle, forget the middle bit, go here. It's up to you, but I would go on the edge, because then you've got what it looks like. Excuse me. Haven't you? You've got it like the picture. I don't know, it doesn't tell you how to do it, you see. It would be nice to have a full head at the front. It's not so bothered about the back, but if you have a nice full head at the front, you can see the spines there. And also if you do, because obviously your spines, when you cut the lengths, aren't going to be all the exact same. Like I can tell these two are slightly different. Well, what you can do is, when you're finished, like there, look, see how long they are compared to that. I just do that, get to the length that they are on the wherever, and just give them a little haircut. And then you can still, when you've fluffed up, it's a bit like when you make a pom-pom on a beanie hat. You can just give them a little trim and do that. I don't know what to name mine. I'm not bothered what name it gets, but if you have any ideas, you can always leave it below. And there you go. I'll just move this and that and that. Ignore the pins. It's quite cute, isn't it? I'll do all mine sometime today, and then I'll post a picture on my Instagram, Planetcrochet. But thank you very much if you followed this tutorial from the beginning to the end. I know sometimes I may seem to waffle, but I like to pass on things I've learned. And if you have any questions about this hedgehog, please leave it below one of the videos on the hedgehog, or this one particular, as you're following this last part, you know, the bits. And if you want any help with sewing on, just let me know. And yeah, if you haven't followed my Instagram, please give it a follow. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, that would help considerably. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. And I will catch you again on another video. But from me and Hedgehog, it's bye for now.